Hey folks, Connor from Nice Wheels here. Today we're going to review the Bulls E-Stream EVO 45 FS, a full suspension Class 3 speed pedelec. So in this review we'll go through all of the specs on the bike, talk about the Bros 350 watt mid-drive unit, and most importantly go through how it rides. So the 45 FS is definitely a top-of-the-line trail bike. You have full suspension, so the front and rear ends of this bike, you have 150 millimeters of travel, both RockShox suspension units. Both can be locked out, and your fork also has rebound control. So the most unique point about this bike, compared to all the other Bulls electric bikes, is that this is going to be a full suspension speed pedelec. So that means that this motor is going to take you up to 28 miles an hour while you're pedaling. And you also have a BMZ 650 watt-hour battery. That'll get you about 80 miles per charge. The Bros motors are excellent for providing high-end torque. These give you 90 Newton meters of torque, whether you have the 250 or the 350 watt. This bike in particular has the 350 watt and is going to be able to take you up any inclines that you face. So moving quickly onto the drivetrain, you have a Shimano Dior XT derailleur. You have an 11-speed cassette back here and a double chainring up front, which is another great thing about the Bros motor is that you have the option to have a double chainring up front. So in total, that's going to give you 22 gears and a nice wide gear range to tackle a variety of mountains and hills. So taking a look at the down tube, you can see how well they integrate the batteries into the frames. They still are removable. You can just lift up on this lever here and turn your key on the other side, and that's going to allow the battery to pop out from the bottom. You can also charge the battery on or off the bike. You do have a little flap here to connect to your charge port, or if you just take it out, it's still the same port on the battery. And another great thing is that it frees up all this space on the down tube, so you have plenty of room for a bottle cage. So up here you can also get a closer look at these Shimano Dior XT trigger shifters. Going to be really easy to reach while you're riding and provide you excellent shifting. Moving on to the display, there's not a whole lot to go over because it is Bull's compact interface display, but you can turn the whole bike on just by this little button on the top. You can control your pedal assist modes. You have 4 of them on this bike with this rocker switch that's kind of part of the display itself. And you can just see your level based on those cubes up atop there. Then you have your miles per hour and your battery level, which is really all you're going to need while you're riding, especially if you're taking this bike out on the trails. But this bike was not 100% designed for only trail riding. They did have a commuter aspect in mind when they designed this, and integrated lights front and rear that are always running on this bike. And that's because it's a speed pedelec at Class 3, so due to European regulations, those lights are always going to be running. But what's nice is that you do also have a brake light when you pull that brake lever, so that back light is going to get quite a bit brighter. So if you are riding in the road, when you do slow down, you'll be able to let cars behind you know that you're stopping. And going into the disc rotors real quick, Bulls typically likes to do this on their Class 3 bikes, and that's have these 203 millimeter rotors up there. So this is going to provide you plenty of stopping power when you're at that 28 miles an hour to get you back down to 0 as quickly as possible. You also have these 27.5-inch Schwalbe knobby Nick tires. Those are going to be 2.35 inches wide. So plenty of grip on these tires to get some great traction on and off the road especially. So getting on this bike for the first time was a lot of fun. I've ridden plenty of Class 3 electric bikes. I've also ridden plenty of full suspension bikes, but have never seen one that combines both into one bike. It's something you don't really see too often, and I think Bulls did a great job of kind of filling that void that is, something a lot of people wanted. I think Bulls was very thoughtful in their design of this bike because a lot of people are just looking for a really comfortable ride but still want to get that top speed of 28 miles an hour, and the full suspension is definitely going to provide that for you. They're definitely not making this bike as something that you only have to take out on the trails. They were very thoughtful in the design and added front and rear lights to it to really make it a good daily commuter that you can kind of go off-road, ride off the beaten path a little bit, but still use it day to day. Setting this bike in turbo mode gets you tons of kick off the start. That 90 Newton meters of torque is something you really feel when you're in that 4th pedal assist setting. So when you're getting up the hills, it's not an issue at all. Shift into that little ring and spin the gears a little bit, and you'll be up there in no time with very minimal effort. For people that are looking for one good bike to do pretty much anything they need, off-road, on-road, commuting, just going out on the trail, this is one of the few, if not the only bike that can really achieve that. This bike combines a lot of top-notch mountain bike components with a style and a motor setup that is going to be great for on-road riding as well. So final thoughts on this bike. It really fills a unique space in the electric bike industry. Having a full suspension bike that also goes 28 miles an hour is something that you don't really see too often. So it's great for someone that wants to use a bike on the trails as well as a daily commuter on the road. Thanks so much for watching this review. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, as well as turn on your notifications to let you know when we release new videos.